This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Ricky Morton's mullet writes, I know you and Petey Anderson are both from Rome, Georgia. Can you give us some Pee-wee stories? He was my favorite referee of all time.
Pee-wee and I were very close for a long, long time. And then we got into business kind of together, and I just said, hey, listen, Bob Armstrong has got me booked for 3 weeks. You want to go down there with me? Pee-wee wasn't working at the time. He said, sure. So he went down there with me for the 3 weeks. You know, that was my first experience with a territory, so I didn't know what to expect. And he was just kind of there to keep me awake driving and stuff. Then we went out to Bill Watts. He went out with me out there. Same thing. I got hired. I said, listen, you know, I'll buy your beer. I'll feed you wherever we stay. I'll make sure there's a couch there for you to stay on, or whatever the deal may be. It won't cost you a dime. Just go out there with me. Because again, I don't know what to expect. And I'd already heard that the trips were just horrendous. So he would be there as a relief driver. So we had been friends probably since the 9th grade in high school. We ran into each other wrestling, amateur wrestling. He went to a different high school, but we wrestled in a lot of the same tournaments. And obviously we would wrestle them in a dual meet and different things. And I just liked him. He was just a funny guy, and we just got along great. And Pee-wee was a drinker. I used to laugh at that whiskey nose he had. That's what I would call him, whiskey nose. Had busted blank veins in it and blood vessels where he'd siphon that liquor down his neck. But one night we went out, we got separated, and I went home before Pee-wee, but he was staying over at my house with me. He was going to sleep over there. He was going to get somebody to bring him in. So in my grandmother's house where I lived, you would come from the outside into what was a screened-in porch, but it had been turned into a room, and we had put a 6-foot freezer out there because my grandfather had a vegetable garden at our house. And he would obviously harvest all those vegetables and put them in that 6-foot freezer. So I'm laying in the bed, and I'm almost asleep, and I hear the door shut. And I go, in my whatever haze that I was in at that time, I had probably way too much to drink too. I went to myself, that's got to be Pee-wee. So I kind of dozed back off, thinking he would come in that second door any second. So I started to kind of doze off, and I went, well, he didn't come in. I wonder, did he go back outside? So I get out, and I walk out of my bedroom door. That door's shut. The next one that goes to the outside, and I'm looking, where did he go? I open the door, look outside. He's not laying in the grass, passed out. Go out, look in the cars. He's not in the cars. I come back in, and as I'm passing that 6-foot freezer, which now had the lid down on it for about 5 minutes, I hear sounds like a giant rat's crawling around in here. And I open up the freezer. Pee-wee has been laying in that freezer for about 5 minutes. So, man, what the hell's the matter with you? You're going to suffocate in here. Hell, I had to get cool.
Oh my God.
Had I not came out and checked on him, the man would have suffocated and been a fudgesicle the next morning. That's one of the more famous Petey Anderson stories.
Unfortunately, next Tuesday will be, I guess, the 18-year anniversary of us losing him. Man, he passed away young, just 42 years old, right?
Yeah. He had been in bad health and cancer. And man, when cancer comes calling, that's what I lost. Both of my grandparents too. Everybody, you better sit up and listen. I know that technology today and treatments are a lot more advanced than what they were, but it came and got him when it came calling. It took him pretty quick. That's
a shame. He was one of the greats, man. Let's try to talk about something a little more fun. Matt Kuhn writes in, Arn, what's your favorite Led Zeppelin album? And did you ever see any of the members live in concert?
I saw Led Zeppelin in the Omni. I want to say it was 75 or 76. Unbelievable. Physical Graffiti and Led Zeppelin 4, Stairway to Heaven is my favorite song of all time. But love Physical Graffiti as well. I had all their stuff. I've still got all their albums upstairs, or CDs, not albums, but the CDs upstairs. I love Led Zeppelin.
The good old days.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.